Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. You guys are in for a treat today. I found the holy grail, the nest egg, the jackpot, the gold mine of information talking about how many ounces of silver you should accumulate. I was going to make just a video on my opinion, but I did some digging and I found this piece of beautiful work. Hundreds of different people have shared their opinion on this question, and it's amazing. I'm so excited. I must warn you, it's got to be Founders Day today. If you guys don't know, the AA World Founders Day is like the start from, and I live in Akron, so you're gonna hear hundreds of motorcycles driving by. It's been happening since like 8 a.m. and it's still gonna happen. It's gonna happen all day. So if you hear motorcycles in the background, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I post daily videos, weekly live streams, and monthly giveaways, so you don't want to miss out. I would love for you guys to comment down below what you think is enough silver, or if that's even a real question, and what is that number that's comfortable for you. You know, when are you going to say, okay, I'm cool, I have a good amount of silver, I'm happy with this? Is that even realistic? What is that number for you? Anyways, let's jump into this. So the link to this thread will be in the description. I found an easier way to read the thread just because it's people are replying. So this way is a lot easier to read. So you can see every different person, a lot of different people, and there's pages. I think there's like 14 plus pages of people just discussing, and you can see they conversate. You know, did you end up buying it? Oh, blah, 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 blah. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm really excited for this. Let's jump into it. So, hey guys, I apologize for asking these questions, but I need to know, how much silver gold should I accumulate to really profit from the collapse jump in silver? And he asks to profit, but then it turns into more of a, how much should I just have? So this guy says, here it goes. If you're looking to profit from the price that moves higher, then you need to be dealing with paper funds, SLV and not metal. If you're looking to preserve wealth, then you stack metal and forget about it. I'd recommend the later. The former will get you in trouble. So he's saying, you know, stay away from the SLV, just stack and hold. But precious metals, physical bullion, coins, and bars at any rate are what you might call a very conservative investment. Primary objective is not to profit, but rather to preserve. Preserve your money for far more stable medium long term than fiat currency. Objective is all more appealing in troubled economic times, which is why in times like these, more people pile into the market and prices therefore rise. If you're looking to profit as an investor, answering his original question, and why wouldn't you be, you know, get into stocks and bonds. So that's where the money is made. You would be smart to set aside percentage of your portfolio, 5 to 15%, blah, 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 growth protection, call it your SHTF fund. S comes from bad investment on your part or indeed economic collapse. So this was written back. He answered this in 2012. So obviously it's a lot different. You don't want to be investing into stocks and bonds right now. Precious metals is the way to go primarily. I mean, obviously diversification is key. But if this guy is just looking at this to make a quick buck, he's in it for the wrong reason anyways. And that's kind of looking like why he's in it. He's trying to profit. But it should be a little bit of both. Obviously, you want to make some money, but you also have to put your money into something that holds its value while the dollar is collapsing. So it's kind of, it has a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of different reasons why people stack silver or get into silver. But, you know, I like how this guy, you know, gets back to the point. How many ounces of silver should I accumulate? 3 at least, repeat often. So, while most, if not all, are saying it's a store of wealth, I am now leaning towards it being profit. Go easy on me, precious metals veterans. So he's going into blah, blah, for example, Greece. So will all the above happen? Who knows? No harm in hoping though. But then again, why do people play the lottery? At least this way, I'll still hold precious metals and can merely swap it for purchasing power, venting, but trying to think outside the box, which pill will you take, the red or the blue? So, but I'm wondering, how much should I at least have in order to protect myself? See, like everyone's kind of beating around the question, and they do get into it a little more, but I'll share my opinion as well. So, and that, you know, it's definitely, these are a lot of newbie stackers talking, and they're really trying to get to the point of why you should have that much silver as well, which I like. There's a lot of context in this. So, and let me defend myself here. When I say profit, I'm not saying so much from silver as it will most likely just hold its value, which is not true. But like I said, this was written in 2012 after silver was $50 and now it tanked. So they're probably a little down on their hopes. But, you know, it will hold its value, but also it has a lot more room to run, being at $28, 11 years later, or 10 years later. But regardless, everything else becomes worthless. So I can buy land or stock for dirt cheap. Get what I'm saying? Yeah, I get what you're saying, but still, you can't just say it will hold its value and nothing else. Here's when we get into the meat and potatoes. So many variables. How old are you? Your income, family you're supporting. How much debt do you have? How much cash reserves? Are you stacking at home? SBD. What spouse approve your idea of precious metals? And this is exactly what I say. Everyone has different financial situations, lives in different parts of the world, has different exit strategies, has different time frames of selling, has different goals. There is no exact number. Because if you're someone who's extremely wealthy, then, 5,000 ounces, that could be easy to you. But if you're someone working a minimum wage job, maybe 100 ounces is enough for you right now. Maybe 500 ounces is enough right now, right? And he even says, for example, if you're 15 and have a paper route, a couple ounces of silver is a big stack. If you're middle-aged, decent job, have a few kids, Monster Box might be appropriate. If you're 70 plus years old and wealthy businessman, you might need a forklift, move your silver stack, which consists of 1,000-ounce bars, right? And that's important. You need to be able to reflect upon yourself realistically, and see in your situation right now what you would be able to handle. I used to, and this is what got me in trouble at first, I used to watch silver stacking videos like Silver Slacker and Shadow Stack. They would be unboxing $10,000 worth of silver each video on a consistent basis, where I was working a minimum wage job. I was only about 19, 20 years old, and I was trying to stack like them. I was spending every penny of my paycheck on silver. It was so toxic and dangerous, but I wanted my stack to look like theirs at any cost. That's dangerous, because then as soon as a bill comes up, as soon as an emergency, your car breaks down, a medical bill, you're going to have to sell that silver at a loss because it hasn't had enough time to appreciate, and then you're going to end up buying the silver back, usually for a higher price, right? So be realistic to yourself. That was a great example. And he goes on to say, I hate to say it, but the question is sort of like, how much should you eat to stop being hungry? The key is not how much you should accumulate according to other people's thoughts, but how much you should accumulate given your personal situation and how much you can put aside for precious metals. And that's exactly right. I love that they got into this. This is a really good forum. I'm really impressed that they got into, this side of things. And that's one of the most beautiful things about silver stacking, is that it is so individual. There's no wrong way to stack. There's better deals. You can get ripped off. You could sell it wrong, I guess, because, if you sell too early or panic sell, that's definitely the wrong way. But when it comes to when it comes to stacking, you really can't go wrong. This is the only strategy where you can come up with a forum full of people and not give you the answer, right? My advice to you is, take your goals, other people's advice, and come up with your own plan. That's why it's called a strategy. Your silver stacking strategy. It's your own plan. You're strategizing. Other people's advice, come up with your own plan. I could tell you that my initial goal was to have 100 ounces. And that was what I was going to say. That's what I was going to and as you can see in the past, I made a video titled, Is 100 ounces of silver enough? And in that video, I saw a lot of people debating this, and like I said earlier, debates, it depends on your living situation. Are you low class, middle class, upper class? Be realistic with yourself. A lot of people try to lie to themselves or try to justify thinking that they're in a different situation than they're in, and that can get you in trouble. You have to get back to the basics. You have to be realistic. And it doesn't mean that that situation is permanent, right? When I first started stacking, I was working a minimum wage job. I was younger. I wasn't grown yet. I didn't have a career. I wasn't making as much money as I am now. So your situation will change. And I promise, the longer you stack silver, the better you become with money, the more patient you learn how to separate your wants versus need. You learn the true value of the dollar. And I promise you will become more wealthy. You'll know how to handle money better. So anyways, it was 100 ounces of silver per family. Silver goals surpassed, but my goals of work in progress. Once you get your goals set aside for yourself, set another one. I'm hoping to reach 1,000 ounce mark eventually. Basically, set yourself some personal goals and don't worry too much about how you'll be able to protect yourself. Because truthfully, if things get that bad, I doubt majority of people will be fully prepared for it. Do the best you can. Come up with a plan that involves precious metals. So thanks for the advice. I'm wondering how much should I at least have in order to protect myself from the collapse. This guy, he doesn't understand. Nobody knows this question. This guy just gave a beautiful answer, and right before this other guy gave a beautiful answer that answered his question to the T, but he's still looking for an exact number, even though this guy gave him an exact number. But he's acting like, what's the number that you have to have? Nobody knows. And he says, let me defend myself here. When I say profit, I'm not saying much from silver. Most likely hold its value, but everything else has become worthless. So that still doesn't make sense. When he says profit, he's not saying profit. He's saying hold its value. So how much silver should you have to hold its value? An ounce will hold its value. 100 ounces will hold its value. Any amount of silver will hold its value because the value is the metal inside of it, not the spot price. So anyways, so thanks for the advice. This is the same guy. So at your age, the amount you're taking in monthly from your last thread, just keep socking away silver on dips and the occasional gold piece. Maybe some platinum, palladium, blah, blah, blah. So here's some numbers. So he says, your case, I would personally aim for 500 ounces of silver. Something liquid. American Silver Eagles, Maples, 2 or 3 ounces of fractional gold, get a half ounce of platinum and 1 ounce palladium, right? Once you've established a solid core base of metals, you can trade in and out, up and down, sell some here, buy back in, etc. Check this, and that's exactly right. This is probably the best answer that anyone's given this kid. 500, and I guess he knows his situation because he says in your last thread. So he knows, because he says at your age and the amount you're making monthly from your last thread. So this guy knows the guy's situation. So he said the guy recommends 500 ounces personally, something liquid. And that's so true. If you're a beginner, you should be having the majority of your stack should be American Eagles, rounds, right? Generic bars, just to build a foundation. And like the guy even says, once you get that goal, then you can start selling some of that stuff and get different types of coins that you like, or even sell a little bit here because you have enough to do that. So you will have a ton of fun stacking. When you get to my age 29, you will most likely be rich, at least a lot richer than your friends. That alone is worth it. Have you had the hottest lady friends and the most likely a new pad or bimmer. So make sure your family's taken care of, bills are paid, right? And that's another important thing. You have to have money saved up. If you don't know how to save money in your bank account, do you really think you're going to be able to save silver? And actually, I can retrace what I'm saying because it is a lot easier to save silver in not your bank, right? When you have money easily on a swipe of a card, and anytime you go to the store, you can easily buy it. You're not going to go home and get some silver out of your safe and then go take it to the local coin shop, sell it, and then go to the store. So it makes sense. If you're trying to save money, I would recommend keep it in physical dollars because it's way easier to see how much money it is. When you have $5,000 in your bank account, it goes so quick because it's just a number. So you can't understand how much money that is. But when you hold $5,000 in cash and $100 bills, it's so much easier to be realistic with yourself. And then when you start getting low, you start spending less. But when it's a number on a screen, it's not the same. It really isn't. So, and if you keep it in your safe, when you're at the store, you're not going to go back home, open the safe, and grab the cash and then go back to the store. By then, you'll have realized it's a dumb purchase. When you have a credit card in your pocket at all times, you can make these impulse decisions, impulse buying. So, he's read and heard people use the 1,000-ounce milestone. And now that's a lot of silver. So that would take years. Well, I mean, depending on your situation, for most people, that would take a long time, but that's also enough time. I'm not saying silver is going to hit at $50 tomorrow. You have a lot of time still to be buying silver under $30, or at least around $30. If you think you missed the boat, you haven't, but eventually you will, and a lot of people, most people, 99% of people will. Only 1% of the world stacks silver. So I think your best route may be to consider what cash and have you saved in assets that you want to protect yourself against inflation, put into silver or gold. And if you want to talk about the ratio comparing silver and gold, I would say every 100 ounces of silver, get a 1/4 ounce or a 1/2 ounce of gold. Usually a 1/2 ounce is what people say. Let's see. Nothing wrong with it. When you sell yourself, eventually be something. There will be something on the losing side. Catch your money in the bank. First thing happen, not make real interest, blah, blah, blah. I like this one. So I think the question could be best answered in percentages. Key elements. 1, never put your eggs in one basket. Diversification is key. So number 2, try and think out of the box for gains. 3, protect your wealth for sure. 4, have precious metals as part of your portfolio. With all that said, out of disposable income, I do 25% in precious metals. Heavier than recommended. It's usually 10-15%, but he does 25. So obviously, if you have 25,000, then that's 6,250 in precious metals. So if you have 50,000, that's 12,500, not ounces, percent. I think the question can be best to answer. So here, I just said that. So depends who you're selling to. Man, this thread is so good, so good. If you're someone that wanted to know this question, this video is the jackpot, because I love forums like this because there's so many different angles and people are bringing so much new information and points to the table. It depends who you're selling to. Yes. American Eagles might be easier to sell since they're 3/9 supine and 1 ounce. Also carry a premium. At the same time, 90% may be easier to sell to individual people. If prices rise, they're smaller pieces, right? It's fractional. American Silver Eagles, 90% silver, junk silver, aka constitutional silver, is great to sell if you're trading or bartering in SHTF scenarios, because just like change works nowadays, right? If you have something that's worth less than $1, you're not going to rip the dollar in thirds. No, you bust out 50 cents or 75 cents. Same thing if you're going to be trading or bartering. What if you're trying to trade or barter and the person doesn't have something that's worth an ounce of silver, but all you have are ounces? You're going to take a chainsaw to your 1 ounce coin? No. Bust out some junk silver, and it's perfect, especially as silver becomes more valuable. A lot of things won't be worth an ounce, so you would be ripping yourself off giving someone an ounce if they don't have enough if they don't have enough of goods you want. It's an ounce in return, so junk silver solves that problem. So, let's see. And I also like, I'm going to add some points as what this guy says as well when it comes to depending who you're selling to. You always got to think how to sell before you buy. Before I even buy that coin on AppMex, I'm thinking how I can sell that coin. I really am. When it comes to Silver Eagles, you'll be able to dump all your silver at your local coin shop on the table and cash out right then. Like that Pawn Stars episode. But if you have a lot of high premium silver, you won't be able to sell to your local coin shop. You're going to have to sell most of that online if you want to get the premiums back. That's why having coins that are pegged to spot price and having coins that are detached from spot price is the way to go. So, started with generic rounds, switched to American Eagles, now buying 1964 Kennedy halves. That's, So Let's see. I want to see if anyone else is answering the original question. So, don't want to give someone 100 for a loaf of bread and hope they don't have change. Exactly, that's what I was saying. So, I like this answer. There's no minimum ounces. Just buy what you can with disposable income and avoid more than 20% concentration of total assets and precious metals. Silver can be rough, but gold game is well as good as gold. Put more than 20% of my wealth in gold. Well, silver is a rough game because people don't understand its true value, and because it's a little more, volatile. But if you don't worry about selling, then the volatility doesn't matter. If it stays low or if it goes low, just buy the dips and then hold on. Only reason he's saying that it would be rough is because sometimes it's $30, sometimes it's $25, sometimes it's $50, sometimes it's $15. So it's a very emotional roller coaster. So let's see. I don't think anyone else is answering from the original question. Oh, I'm still stacking till I hit 2,000 ounces. So this person says 2,000. So I want you guys to comment down below. What that number is for you. And nobody make fun of anyone else down below either. You know, if you see someone that says 10 ounces, don't hate on them. I mean, honestly, though, I don't even have to say this to you guys. That was so stupid. I'm thinking of people on forums like this. I know my viewers respect everyone, and they respect everyone's situation. Right? People are watching my videos from all over the world. Maybe you live in a country that doesn't have as much opportunity as the United States, or maybe you're 15 and you're doing chores for your mom and that weekly allowance to save up. Right? You don't know anyone's situation. So if someone says 5 ounces, congratulate the crap out of them and tell them keep going. You know, or if you see someone that says 10,000 ounces, don't feel jealous, because you don't know, in a couple of years, maybe you're going to be in that situation, right? Everything is situational and everything changes. So anyways, the motorcycles are coming. I can hear them. You could probably hear them too. I'm sorry about that. I got lucky during this video. It quieted down, but I swear all day, every day, all day, even 8 in the a.m., I got woke up from just motorcycle after motorcycle revving. And I live right at the top of a hill, so they rev super hard before they go down. Imagine trying to get my 1-year-old daughter to sleep over here at night with cars all. It's like I live in New York, I swear. I kind of love it though. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. Remember, I post daily videos, weekly live streams, and monthly giveaways. I even do giveaways in the live stream, so weekly and monthly giveaways. You don't want to miss out. You got to stay in the loop. You can't be blindly investing. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.